Hey everyone, welcome to It Tastes Different Gaming Appetizers. And what are we talking about this time? Well, Gundam Evolution, the game you may or may not know about, is shutting down. So it's a competitive multiplayer title set within the popular Gundam universe. And it's shutting down despite launching less than a year ago on September 20, 2022. Not September 20th, sorry, in September of 2022. The executive producer, Kazuya Maruyama, I'm going to try. Hopefully I did it correctly. That guy, you know that guy, shared in a blog post that support for the game will be winding down, though he didn't provide specifics as to why. They say, we wanted to create a title that brought FPS fans and Gundam fans together. We challenged ourselves to create an authentic Gundam FPS game that could be played globally. Unfortunately, we have determined that it's no longer possible for us to provide a service that satisfies our players. A live stream that detailing the sunsetting roadmap aired today. Basically, Gundam Evolution services officially end on November 29th. Until then, Maruyama states that it will still receive updates. Season 6 arrives on August 23rd, and the final season hits on October 25th. Both seasons will introduce new units and maps. Today, the following services has been suspended. Ending sales of Evo coins, which I'm assuming are the premium currency to buy things, EC Pod Limited, whatever that is, and EC Pods, Cap Pods, and Ticket Pods. Microtransactions, and microtransactions are all ending. So Gundam Evolution was initially announced during PlayStation's State of Play in March of 2022. It is an FPS title that lets players suit up as their favorite mobile Gundam suit in a battle in a 6 versus 6 match across various game modes. Unfortunately, this game, much like a lot of these live services games, joins other games such as Final Fantasy VII, The First Soldier, Babylon's Fall, Rumbleverse, Apex Legends Mobile, Knockout City. A lot of these games that tried to be live services that just ended and failed. Now, Gundam Evolution was on pretty much everything. It was on PlayStation, Xbox, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC. So it came out on everything. It came out September 21st of 2022 on PC, and then in November 30th on everything else. So, another free-to-play title. This was a free-to-play title. You didn't have to pay for this game. You could go and download it. I'm pretty sure it's a free-to-play title. Did I say that at the beginning? I don't remember. But I'm pretty sure it's a free-to-play title. You just had to pay for all the microtransactions. But we've seen a lot of similar games, the ones I talked about, and we've seen a lot come through and try. I mean, these live service games are just hard to keep up with, especially as a lot of live services games come online and shut down just as quickly, right? We see a lot of these live services games come out and shut down within the same time frame, less than a year after they were out. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like for developers, it almost seems like it's not worth the time and money to put into that development time to make these games only to shut them down a year later. Now, I don't know how much they make based off of development, and putting the game out there compared to the microtransactions, right? Maybe it evens out, or maybe they make profit and they're like, cool, we made enough. It's no longer profitable. Let's just shut it down. Or they don't make anything at all, and that's just a waste of money. It seems to me like a waste of money. You have those few live services that do end up making it, but a lot of these live services crash and burn well before they even make it off the ground. And this is just another one of those live services that's going to be gone. So what do you guys think? Pat, what do you think of this?
The plague of the games of service is what I think of it. I like Gundam, the anime. I am not like the Gundam game, that I can think of off the top of my head that was just amazing. And this one was another one of those. Just most Gundam games are like middle of the road. It's not bad. It's not good. It's just middle of the road, you know? And I felt like this one was the same. It was just middle of the road. The only thing that benefits that it had going for it is that, like you said, it was a free to play game and they made their money through microtransactions. And I think a lot of times developers overestimate the popularity of something they're going to make. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. Like Gundam's popular, but Gundam the anime is popular. Gundam the games are just not that popular. I mean, they're good enough for them to keep making more, but they don't make like buku bucks. They're not like multi-million-dollar, $100 million games. They don't rake in that kind of money. At least here in the States, you know, Gundam may be way more popular video game over in like Japan or in Asia or something like that, you know, so they may be more popular there, but here it's not that popular. So my brain kind of goes, well, duh. And it looks like they'll just barely make a year on everything. It'll be a little over a year on PC and a little over a year on consoles, or right at a year on consoles when it shuts down. So, you know, I don't know how much they made off their premium currency. Maybe they didn't make a whole lot. Maybe their model was flawed. I don't know. I didn't play it enough, you know, to get a good feel of it because it's just meh. And I'm not a PvP person. So it's like 6v6 or 5v5. I can't remember PvP. You know, it looks cool. But, you know, I'm not a PvP person, so I'm out on that automatically if that's their main game mode, which is what that is. So, but I think everybody has I think all these developers get blinded by the almighty dollar and think I can make a live service game and it will make buku bucks. But they have to forget, I think the games of service market is saturated. I mean, you're going to have a hard time stealing players away from the big ones out there. And that when I talk about big, I'm talking like Fortnite, PUBG. And I, as much as I hate to say this, it's not a free to play game, but like Call of Duty and Modern Warfare and all that stuff is still a microtransaction heavy games of service game, and Destiny and stuff like that. There's only so much time and so many people that will subscribe to a games of service game. There's just not that many of them out there. I mean, like I played Destiny. I played Destiny with Nick. I don't play Fortnite. I don't play PUBG. I don't play any of that stuff. And I'm not a real big skins person. I don't buy skins in games because I'm like, whatever. I mean, it looks cool. I'd like to run around looking like that, but at the same time, I'm not going to spend money on a skin. Now, a free to play game, if I was into Fortnite, I probably would, right? Because that's a way for me to show the developers that I like what they put out. And the game's free. So if I want to give them $15 or $20 for some currency every few months, then that's the same thing as me buying a $70 game after all, or paying like a WoW $15 a month subscription, right? I have no problem with that in a free to play model. But these games like Destiny and Call of Duty and all this stuff are not free. They just have monetization stacked on top of monetization and top of monetization. So Gundam was a free to play game. And they had a monetization microtransaction thing going on. So, and that's fine. I have no problem with that philosophy because that's how they thought they would make their money. But obviously, my opinion was they probably thought way too highly of this game, and they thought way more people would play this game than did. And obviously, they didn't. They couldn't maintain enough of a fan base. So the game will have been out for a year when it dies. They came out with 7 seasons. That to me seems like a good amount of content, right? 7 seasons in one calendar year. That's a pretty good cadence. I mean, it looks like they've been adding like a new Gundam suit with every. When I was looking at their thing, it was like, you know, there's a new suit at the last 2 ones have a new unit and maps. So they're coming out with a new unit and new maps with every season. So they've got the content. The game's just not good enough. The game's not good enough to suck people in and steal players away from Fortnite and Call of Duty and PUBG and Destiny and all these other live service games that are able to keep going on and on and on. Because you have to be able to make a game that's going to kill off one of those or steal a chunk of their player base, right? Like you have to pay staff, you have to pay server equipment, you have to pay to keep things going. You have to have a break even point. And obviously, these companies just don't even make enough money to pay their staff and keep the game going, or else they would do it, right? If they were breaking even, they'd probably do it, because they're still making enough to pay their staff and make a little bit of money, but I guarantee they're losing money hand over fist. And Gundam Evolution, that's a Bandai Namco game, isn't it? I don't remember. So Bandai Namco, they're not making any money. They're like, nah, we're out, guys. So it sucks for the Gundam fans out there. What really sucks though is if you bought Evo coins like before yesterday, a couple days ago, you're SOL. There's no refunds. So, or if you bought Evo coins and didn't hear the news, you're SOL. There's no refunds. So I'd be like, no. I'm only you're going to get to enjoy your skin for another 3 months, 3.5 months, 3 months and a week or two. I'd be a little peeved if I was them. I'd be like, I need a refund me. But it is what it is. Unfortunately, it sucks. But Shane, what do you think, man? What do you think about Gundam Evolution shutting down? Are you a big Gundam fan? Or are you a Gundam game fan?
I don't have Gundam style. So, yeah. No, I'm not I love anime. This whole group is big anime people, but I don't think mechs are in our Gundam or in our anime repertoire. I'm not a big mech guy in the anime world. Escaflowne was probably the last one I watched, and I liked the story and stuff, but I really didn't care about the mech portions of it. And that's just me. So as far as a game goes, I like, Armor Core, things like that. I will play the crap out of, but Gundam never interested me. The series and movies never really interested me either because I never cared for the art styles. And I'm an art style whore on anime. Even if it's a great story, it's hard for me to get past, design features on anime characters. So, but as far as this game goes, don't even remember ever hearing about it. So it's no sweat off my butt. It sucks for people that are into it. Definitely. And if you just bought coins and crap, sorry, but, you might have checked your crystal ball to see if this thing was going to cancellation hell. So, but there's not really that many mech games out right now. We got Armor Core 6 coming out here soon, which, we're excited for. But, that's a whole different world. It's a whole different beast of storytelling and things like that. The Gundam world definitely shouldn't have went a free to play, give me your dollars kind of a game. If they wanted to do something, because there are mech anime people out there that love that stuff. Gamers love mech stuff. They should have went with a Gundam story created game instead of this cash grab that they went for. And they tried just like countless others. I believe in there was a list of that one and several other games announced at the same time that all they all went to crap. Final Fantasy had a game in there, a cash grab game that didn't, that never came out. People are tired of it. Like you said, they're saturated. There's countless cash grab games out there. I mean, not everybody can be Fortnite. They can't. Not everybody can be, Call of Duty. Not everybody. I mean, Apex is, it's a really good game. We played it, me and Nick played it a few times, even got Pat in there a couple times, but it's hard to keep that going and to keep people's attentions that long. How Fortnite has done it, don't know. I mean, they've got skins and all that. I thought about playing it when they dropped Naruto. I'm a big Naruto fan, but no, it's just not me. I don't care about those kinds of games. Skins are okay to look at, but I'm not paying extra money for something I should be able to just unlock. Even if it's a free to play. Yes, I want to support developers, but I don't want to support them this way. I want to support a traditional game. So, and this game went a route that I don't care for. I don't care for Gundam, as an anime. Never have. It's probably blasphemy for a lot of anime fans, but I don't. And this type of game, I definitely don't care for, and I don't partake in. So, but it sucks for the people that enjoy it. It sucks for the Gundam fans. It sucks for the people that dropped a lot of money on coin. But guess what? When you buy fake things, they will go away eventually. That's why digital is a scary world. Digital things they're not going to last forever. I mean, sooner or later, servers will go down and your stuff is gone. And unfortunately, this Gundam folded up and it's taken off.
It's not a transformer.
It folds. Gundams fold.
Do they?
Shit, I don't know.
They might fold. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, he's thinking Robotech. Shane's thinking Robotech.
Yes, Robotech. Sorry.
Robotech's the one where they're like planes and they fold out into
planes
mechs
and then they turn into mechs. Yeah.
Exactly. And, it's never been my thing.
But I think wasn't there was a Gundam series where they were planes and they transformed into mechs. So
there might be.
Robotech and I think Gundam had a little bit of like.
Gundam's had so many different variations of Gundam.
I was looking it up and I started going through because there's a list of all the Gundam stuff. I can't get through it all at the time we're doing this episode. That's how many Gundam things there are. I mean, movies, TV shows, cereal boxes. I mean, it's nuts. I mean, it's crazy how popular Gundam is. Now, don't get me wrong. There's the life-size Gundam in Japan. I would lop off both of your guys' toes just to go see it. I would love to see that. Just I want it in my front yard. I know, but Mama said I can't have it. But it's another one of those things that just because I don't enjoy it, it does bother me to see that somebody else's enjoyment's going away. That sucks.
I mean, there's some very large names in the game that have failed the games as a service. I mean, look at Marvel tried to do it with the Avengers. And what was that? I don't even remember the name of it. This is how bad it was. The game that we literally bought and played one evening and never played it again. That was a microservice and didn't even last a year. I don't even remember what the name of it was. Babylon's Fall. Was it Babylon's Fall? Yeah. Was it Babylon's Fall?
Yeah. We got an evening in and then that was pretty much it.
That game died as quick as it came out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. The title took longer to read than it did to play. So it sucked. It was so bad.
There's a lot of games, a lot of live service games that go this route. And Pat's exactly right. I mean, the market is just saturated with these live service games. And it's hard to pull people away. I mean, that's what you have to do is you have some titans in the live service market. And that's what people are playing. So when you come out with a new live service, I mean, we just reviewed one, Exo Primal from Capcom, that's trying to be a live service, right? And we just, even looking at the initial, I mean, you have to get people off the initial get-go. And the initial get-go with Exo Primal, while it's an okay game, I just, one thing we talked about in the review is we just don't think it has staying power. And unless they can turn that ship around, I just don't think Exo Primal will stay afloat for very long. It'll be like these other games where eventually it will shut down and that'll be the end of it, because you have to compete with all these other live service games. You're not going to get people that are, because any live service game is an investment, right? Someone might play Fortnite and they might play Destiny, 2 live service games, but they ain't going to go to a 3rd live service game, right? People that play Fortnite, more than likely, not all of them, but most of them probably don't play Call of Duty online, right? They probably play just Fortnite, or they probably play just Call of Duty online, or they probably play just PUBG, right? They might dabble in the other ones here and there, but they have one that they're dedicated to. So it's really hard to pull people off of a live service where someone's already invested their time and money into. They're not just going to go play a new one because it's, it's not like other games where you can just be like, oh, a new one came out. Cool. I'm going to go play that now, right? They've already spent too much. You have all these microtransactions and stuff. So you spent too much time developing your characters, too much time buying into these microtransactions, that you don't want to just get up and leave that game for another that's similar in its, play and its play style and stuff like that. So it's very hard for these games to compete and stay afloat.
Yep. And there are probably players that swap between them, like you said, but they're probably season hoppers, right? They come out and they play right when the season drops, they can get all the crap done, and then they go on to the next one. And there's probably just no room in there for a subpar. I mean, if the game was amazing, they would probably add that to their repertoire, but nobody that plays in that arena has time for a subpar, microtransaction game, live service game. Nobody has that amount of time to put into a subpar to buy all the skin. They may like to play it, but they're not going to monetize you. They're going to be like, no, I don't play this enough to buy a skin or whatever I need to do to support the developers.
Yeah. And you got to remember one thing that affects live service games is streamers. Streamers will affect it because nobody, like I said, I never heard this game. I wonder if there was actually any streamers dedicated to it, because streamers will stay to the ones that are popular, the ones that draw views. If the Gundam was, making some headway, you might have seen streamers doing gameplay and all that stuff, but you just don't. They stick to where the people are, and people are very picky, especially in the gaming world right now. It's nuts. I don't care for live service games for the most part. I think they take away from real games, from real story gameplays, from co-op and all that stuff, and it's just not my cup of tea. It's a younger generation, and apparently I'm old as crap.
Well, according to the Steam charts, there's like 347 players playing right now. Evolution.
Gundam.
So, yeah, and
that's
it has
349 more than
and 432
than a few others
peak in the last 24 hours. But it looks like, so that was the average. So 347 is what's on now, 432 peak, and like all time high was only 56,911. That was at release 10 months ago. So not a whole lot of people playing this game.
It dropped off pretty quickly. I mean, if you think within, we said 10 months, within 10 months, it went from 50,000 players to 500. Right. That's a pretty big drop. And Shane's exactly right, too, about streamers, right? If you go on to Twitch or something like that and you see what streamers are playing, if they're not playing Gundam Evolution or even Exoprimal that we just reviewed, you might as well say that game is on its way down, out the door, right? Because if it's popular and like super popular streamers, there will be streamers out there playing it. Because it brings people in, right? It brings audiences in. But if audiences are bored of what they're watching, because I mean, people still watch people play Fortnite, right? That's probably one of the most popular streams on, probably not the popular, but one of the most popular streams on Twitch, right? Is probably Fortnite players still to this day, and Fortnite's been out forever. But it is what it is. It's a popular game, and it's hard to compete. So something like Gundam Evolution and all these other live services games, it's very hard for them to compete out there when they have so much competition already established out in the gaming world. So I agree. They're better off. Bandai Namco and these developers are better off putting their resources into something else, making it just not very far off when this game came out, we reviewed a Gundam game. I can't remember the name of it, and it was a cooperative.
The little
game.
chibi
Gundam, yeah.
The Chibi Gundam, and it was okay. It was an okay game, but Pat, like at the very beginning, is exactly right. Gundam games have never been like, oh my god, you must play it. They've been just kind of middle of the road. They're okay, right? I like mechs. I like mech games, but I like more like you get to customize and create your own mech, almost kind of like real life. Almost kind of somewhat simulation and somewhat arcadey in the sense of mechs, because I want to go in and build and fine tune my mech, and that's like the kind of stuff I like. Yeah.
Or what's that Titanfall? Nick's jumping for another Titanfall game or whatever.
Now,
that's more
Titanfall, you didn't get near the customization, though. That was one of the things I was kind of bothered about, because that's such a great game. But you didn't get quite the customization stuff you do with other games like MechAssault, swapping arms, things like that.
That game we played was the SD Gundam Battle Alliance.
Yeah, there you go. And that
Chibi.
game was okay. The Chibi Gundams.
It was okay.
all right.
Yeah, it was just okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is what it is, but you just got to watch out for these live services games. And I think developers should really think twice before making one personally. But do you guys have anything else you want to say about this?
Nope.
No more live service games.
No more live
Fold up
service.
and roll out.
Fold up and roll out. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Let us know down in the comments below. Did you play Gundam Evolution? Or what do you think of live service games in general? What do you think about these new ones coming out? Do you think they have legs to stand on? Do you think they can, stay afloat? Or do you think they'll die off like a lot of these live service games that have come and gone that we've seen? But let us know down in the comments below. Other than that, thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're not already. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and help us out. Hit the bell notifications to stay up to date with new videos that we do all the time. And we'll see you next time.
See ya.